Oh, damn. Hello, everybody. How we doing? Can't answer that right now. Why is that so loud? Is that loud for everybody? I don't know how to turn that, blowing my eardrums out. Hi, guys. How we doing? Already got a subscription. Holy shit. Yabo is Kenny. My eyesight's terrible. I'm very far away from the screen now. I'm back in my old studio. I mean, my old cathedral. It looked like the same cathedral, but it was a different one. Hello, everybody. Welcome. For those of you that missed the Valentine's Day stream, it was fantastic. So many good stories. Oh, we got an international caller? All right. Okay. All right. Maybe it's a guy from the military choosing what it is.
Call from
Daniel.
Daniel, how we doing, my son?
Hello, Father.
What can I do for you?
I had a story for you.
Sure.
About 2 months ago, I kinda lost my virginity,
Okay.
and the girl now is saying that I raped.
Why is it always the international calls? Why? Could anyone else tell that was going to be trouble from the first second, or did I just have a sixth sense about this? The first fucking call? Ugh, it's been a while since we had one of those. Read the fucking rules. I don't want to hear about that shit. Sucks that it happened. I don't know if it might have happened, it might have not. I don't want to fucking hear about it. Ski fucking daddle.
call from
Frank.
to
You can
accept
hear me yelling in the
one.
background. Hi, my son. How we doing?
Good.
What can I do for you?
I got a W story.
Sure. Let's hear it.
So Monday, I didn't even realize it was Valentine's Day until. So there's this girl that I had a crush on.
Okay.
And so Saturday that week, I was asking a friend of mine for advice. And so they tell me that night that earlier today, that the girl I have a crush on asked for advice on how to ask me out.
Okay.
So Monday morning, right before class starts, she asked me out, and now we're dating.
So you didn't even have to do anything. She asked you out.
Nothing.
That's pretty insane. How old are you?
I'm 14.
You gotta understand how rare that is, bro. What's your name?
Frank.
Frank, that's gonna probably happen maybe not even one more time in your lifetime. Do you understand that?
Yep.
Okay, so you're not gonna let this slide, right? You're gonna treat her well, right?
Yep.
All right. Congratulations, man. Way to get the fish.
Yep.
We needed a W after that last very short story, so I appreciate that. Have a good day.
Yeah. You too.
Bye-bye. Hell yeah. Dude, the kids... I get a little nervous. Because younger guys who call in here, sometimes I feel like I won't be able to help them. Because kids are so different nowadays. They're just, I grew up in a small town in Massachusetts, and the LGBTQ community was not, smiled upon. I didn't have a problem with them, but kids calling all the time, like, yeah, so I'm bisexual, and I'm talking to this guy, and they're like 13, and I'm like, wow, that is insane. Good for you. Stop telling me to twerk, goddammit. Phone number's not working for some reason. Well, it might be because I got a crap ton of calls, and also, if I'm on the phone, it'll just say I'm not available. Let me give this a refresh. Twerk father. You guys are horny. Consistently. It's pretty insane, actually. Saw his caller can't be reached. It's because I'm getting a lot of calls. Alright, I'll wait a couple more minutes, or a couple more seconds, and then I'll call someone back, because this guy's been trying pretty hard. Actually, I'll give this guy a call back. He's called. Oh, no. He's called like a million times. There we go. Oh, no, you guys have an ad? If only there was a way to get around that.
Hello, Father.
Who is this?
This is Bobby.
Bobby, God damn it. What can I do for you, Bobby?
Well, I wanted to say happy belated Valentine's Day.
Happy
I
Valentine's
watched the
Day.
stream later. Thank you. Yeah, I watched the stream later because I was busy with other stuff. But I don't really have much of an update about the cult guy, unfortunately.
Okay.
We messaged back and forth a little bit over the weekend. He hit me up at like 1 a.m. when I was at the bar with friends. And I thought he wanted to hang out, and I asked him, like, hey, you want to meet up? And then he didn't read it till, like, the next day, which was weird.
Wait, hold up. So, two things. One, I just want to reconfirm. Bobby is what's the term? A regular. She calls in because she had this story where she was talking to this really cute guy. Who was perfect for her, and it turns out he's in a cult. But she's still down for some unknowable reason, and I'm helping her try and get this to work out. So, it was on Saturday night. You said Saturday or Sunday?
That was Saturday.
Saturday night, he hit you up at 1 a.m.?
Yeah, I was at the bar, and I was honestly kind of drunk, and he just said, hey, and I was like, hey, what's up? And he's like, not much, what about you? I'm like, hanging at the bar with friends, and he's like, that's cool, and I'm like, yeah, like, what are you up to? Do you want to hang out? And then he didn't end up reading the message until the next day.
All right, Bobby.
And then yeah.
I know. The more I talk to you, the more more of what I'm thinking is. So, he's a man of God in some perverted sense, right?
I suppose so.
Right. And I think he's seeing you as an outlet, as like, some fun he could have, and you're willing to have that fun with him, right?
Mhm.
But I don't think I don't think he's gonna let his faith. He's not gonna let himself get in the way of his faith. So he hit you up, and you just had like a back and forth, like, hey, how you doing? He's waiting for you to say, hey, come over and let's boop. I think he's waiting for you to like say that, so then he can tell himself that he was tempted into sin. I really think that's what he's waiting for, honestly.
Well, so I didn't really go into this the first call because, as I've mentioned before, I'm a little shy and bashful. But like our first date, I mean, a little bit more happened than I initially like expressed. When we first met up, we met up at a bar and had some drinks and came back to my place, and then I just hung out and talked. And then I was like, hey, you want to see my room? And so we came into my room, and then he kissed me, and then we made out, and we
PG-13.
we like did stuff.
Yeah.
But we didn't we couldn't go all the way because I hope it's okay to say this. I didn't have a condom that would like fit him.
All right.
And so we had to like stop.
No wonder you were so excited about this guy. You should have explained that. But so yeah.
I mean, that wasn't even the best part.
Let's pause on that. I don't want to. Let's keep it clean. But in that scenario, you're the one who initiated it, right?
No, he's the one who kissed me.
I know, but you said let's go to the room, and once you're already in there, you're in there.
Yeah, but my room's pretty cool.
That's what.
But,
okay.
Yeah.
Well, what I'm saying is, I think
so,
from here on out, you got to initiate it with him.
Yeah. Yeah. How direct should I be? Because I struggle with that, and
remember my advice last time. Don't.
Yeah.
If you give an opportunity for a man to think, he probably won't.
What do you mean?
So if you try and get him to read between the lines, 9 times out of 10, don't ever assume someone in your life is smarter than they are. So kind of really lay it out for him, and he'll go for it. You just have to be pretty direct. Maybe not. Don't talk like you're in a porno, but kind of talk like you're in a porno, like a little below that.
Yeah.
But be cute about it, but let him know that it's 1 a.m. and we have plans to do something tonight.
Okay, yeah, I've got to work on that. Okay.
Okay?
I'll keep trying.
I was going to say, do your best. I really believe in you, Bobby, all right?
Okay.
All
right. Thank you, Father.
Bless your heart, my daughter. Have a good one.
You too.
Jesus, didn't even give me a second.
Call from
Mason.
Mason, how we doing, my son? Did you already call in?
No, this is my first time calling in.
Oh, we had someone named Mason a couple days ago. What can I do for you?
Okay, so I'm looking for some advice, right?
Right.
There's this girl I've been talking to for a while, and one day she got pissed at me like out of the blue, no reason, right?
Okay.
So I finally figured out there's this kid named Zach in my grade, and his sister. We went to a Halloween party, and let's just say things got like a little special, and I ghosted her after that because she was super crazy for some reason.
Okay.
And then so apparently he's friends with this girl and started telling her a bunch of lies about me, and now she won't talk to me anymore. I don't know what to do.
Well, you're not going to be able to communicate with her that they weren't lies, right? Because she's not talking to
Yeah.
you. I mean, can you see her in person and try and explain, or is that off the table
Yeah,
too?
yeah. I see her in person every day.
Well, I think that the best, regardless of how it turns out, it could turn out negatively or positively. You should probably communicate to her that that's a bunch of bullshit, and then confront the kid who lied. Was it a girl or a guy who lied?
It was a guy because I ghosted his sister.
Yeah. Well, discuss it with him. Kind of make a show out of it. I'm not saying beat the piss out of him, but let
Yeah.
so you'll explain to her that that's a bunch of malarkey, and then she'll know that you confronted him, which adds a little bit more credibility to your story. That's the best case scenario. Maybe she'll forgive you, or maybe she'll, stay the way she is. But clear your own record before you move on, because you don't want to. You don't. That shit will follow you around for a while.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I got you.
All right. Bless your heart, my son.
Yeah, you too, father.
The hell's going on in the chat? Let's keep it PG. You guys don't want me getting kicked off of this channel, do you? I can't really read it, but it seems intense. So. Does Jesus have clarity after you know? Jesus doesn't do from what I've read. You guys are fucking nimrods. I love you. You're a good congregation. It's funny that every time I raid somebody or someone jumps into this chat, everyone's like, this is the most positive, loving chat I've ever been a part of. And I'm like, that's crazy, because they're a bunch of sinners, a bunch of degenerates. In the best way possible. I have no problem with you people. But we're all insane. Oh, you can't call it. You know what? I might have paused it to address the chat. 1 second. Let me fix this. I love you, Father. Thanks, bud. Much appreciated. Oh, wow. We already hit our goal. How many days left? I can't read that. How many days left? Let me make this bigger so I can read it. 2 days left to the goal, and we already hit it. Let's go. 100 subs in a month? I mean, I'm no ninja. I don't know. I don't watch a lot of Twitch. I don't know who the big Twitch streamers are. Pokimane? I'm no Pokimane. Sorry, I thought I heard a... oh, someone just subbed again. Now we're at 102. Jabahama. Jabahama. Pajahadit. Hajapadit. Thank you for subscription. Thanks for the prime, man. I'll give this guy a call back.
I have been trying to call forever. I'm sorry.
Hello, my son. What can I do for you?
It's the 43-year-old man with a truck and a dog again.
Oh, my God. All right. Oh, yeah. You had the huge W story last time.
Yeah. Quick question before I get on with this story. I don't know if this will count as a criminal story.
Does it have anything to do with sexual assault?
It doesn't. It doesn't.
You make me nervous. In what sense?
It does have something to do with me hitting a girl, though.
We're gonna let that one pass. I'd rather not discuss that.
Okay, then I'll use my backup story then.
Okay.
So this is like last year, I think.
Okay.
Like tail end of last year, like maybe October, November, somewhere around there. Lila, who's the girl that I'm dating at the moment.
Right.
Lila and the guy that she is dating at the time are going strong from what I can see. But she has to go into the mental hospital for a reason that I will not mention here.
Okay.
So that gives the guy some time to think. And we're at church one night. We're just kind of talking, and then he, out of the fucking blue, randomly goes, "I think I'm gonna break up with her."
Wow. All right.
That catches me off guard, and I'm like, "Why though?" And he goes, "Well, she's been more of a burden on me. My mental health has been slightly going down since, you know, I forget when he said, like, since when, and her going to the mental hospital
It was like a last
kind of
straw.
gave me some time to think."
Yeah, yeah.
What?
I was gonna say it's kind of like the last straw gives you some time to think. Yeah.
Yeah. And I go, "Okay, can you at least not break up with her on the first day that she comes back from the mental hospital?" And he does exactly that.
Ugh, that's not great.
It really is not. And as kind of an apology gift, she made herself a bracelet and him a bracelet, and his pet name in the relationship was Teddy, and the bracelet said Teddy on it. And then he just goes, "Oh, I want to break up with you because," and I forget the actual interaction between them, but he essentially just goes, "I'm breaking up with you." So she leaves that interaction, and she comes to me and a few other friends that are standing around and just kind of starts bawling her eyes out
Right.
because she loved him a lot, like a lot.
Right.
And this came out of the blue for her, and all I'm sitting here thinking is, Trevor, that's his name. Trevor, why would you do this? Why would you do this?
Uh-huh.
Like, I get it, man, but like, on her first day back into real society, you go and fucking break up with her.
Yeah, that's not
And
great.
it's like, what are you doing, man? So I go and confront him, basically saying everything that I just said there. Like, what the fuck are you doing, man?
Mhm.
Why couldn't you just waited like a week or something? And then he just goes, "Because I wanted this relationship to be over now." And I'm like, "Well, at least save a bit of mental health for her." And then he goes, "I will fuck you up." And then I snap back with, "Oh, really? Oh, fucking really? I'll fuck you up harder." He took martial arts. He would have fucked me up in a goddamn heartbeat.
At least you're self-aware. So where did it go from there?
I did not tell her. I just said, "Oh, really? I'll fuck you up harder." And then these two girls kind of get in our way, and they're like, "Okay, y'all better stop before we get before we get somebody in here."
Right, exactly.
And then I just walk away, giving him the dirtiest fucking look
But I mean,
ever.
now you're dating her though.
Yeah.
So, you won. You didn't have to beat his ass. You just fucking absolutely dunked on him. So fuck him.
Exactly. I guess that's one way to look at it.
I'm glad you didn't fight him too, because those martial art kids, especially with, like anything that's judo or Brazilian, they'll just twist you into a pretzel. That's not even a fun way to get beat up. Because if you get punched in the face and you get knocked out, you're barely aware of what happened until after the fact. But getting twisted into a pretzel and putting your legs behind your head and just getting tapped out is the absolute worst. You're awake the whole time. It fucking sucks. So I'm glad you were smart about that, and I'm glad you're dating her now. But you had the biggest dub last show, so I'm glad. Keep your chin up and fuck that kid, all right?
Gladly. I just wanted to come in with a story because I feel like I'd be letting the chat down if I wasn't here.
Yeah, for sure. All right, my son. Bless your heart.
Thank you, Father.
Bye-bye. Woo, you guys are quick tonight.
Call from
Colby.
Colby, how we doing, my son?
Hi, Father, I call to tell you a story and ask for advice.
Can you turn down the stream in the background?
Yeah, sorry.
You're good.
All right. So I'm going to start with the story and then ask for the advice.
Okay.
So a little bit of backstory. So I've known this girl since I was like 5 years old.
All right.
Liked her for 13 now. I'm 18.
Okay.
So this is just kind of like indicative of the whole situation. So a couple of years ago, it was during the summer, she was packing to go on a trip to Spain. And I was like hanging out with her in her room, like as she was packing. She was leaving that day, and I'm about to, like, we're just hanging out. She's like asking me like, what should I pack, type of stuff, that sort of thing. Eventually, she gets done packing. She says, "You want to watch a movie?" I said, "Sure." So she proceeds to shut the door, close the blinds, turn out the lights, put on the most romantic fucking movie I have ever watched.
Right.
Get in the bed and say, "Get in with me."
She was under the
I
covers?
proceeded to do. Yeah, like comforter, everything.
All right, that's a green light. All right.
She's like, yeah. So I get in. Mind wife didn't do jack shit.
Okay.
Sat there, watched the movie, went home, and then she went to Spain. So it's been a couple of years. I've kind of talked to her about it before. I'm getting like very mixed signals because she just hasn't really. I don't know. I've told her exactly how I feel, and she's just been very like touch and go with it.
Right.
And the other problem is the only times I ever try to talk to her about it is when she's very like in and out of relationships quick, and she's always in a new one quick.
Mm.
And I never want to be like the day after she breaks up with the dude, like, hey, let's date. But
Right.
the second I give it more than like a few days, she's with another dude like that.
Well, first of all,
So
clearly that is not a bad game plan because that's what other guys are doing, so you might as well do the same thing.
fair enough.
She's a high-ticket item. Beyonce once said, "Girl like me doesn't stay single for long." So, if it's worth it and it's obviously what other people are doing, and she's willing to try, I mean, fucking go for it. It don't feel bad about it because I mean everyone else is doing it, right?
Yeah, that's true.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then what was the
Well,
other?
and then, the other.
Yeah.
Well, the other major problem is that she's dating somebody right now.
That is a pretty major
And-
problem. Yeah.
Yeah, so that one's a rough one. And he like just started like living with their family.
Okay. I mean,
He claims he got kicked out, so now he's like living with them, and
that's a pretty big hurdle to
Yeah.
leap, bud. I mean, do you want to be a homewrecker?
I mean, I'm not opposed to it. No, but
Yeah. Listen, I think that if they're living together, that's a whole different kind of homewrecker because the likelihood of you getting your ass beat goes up about 20 to 50%, I would say. So definitely pause on this situation. I'm sure you're infatuated with her at the time. I mean, you've been thinking about her for 5 years, but this is not.
13. I've known her since I was 5.
Okay, 13. This.
Yeah.
Wow, I mixed those dates up. This is, not the best situation. I would definitely at least wait for her to be single again because it seems like even if he's living with her, I don't think it's going to last a long time. You guys are still young. Take some time. You're 18. Are you going to college?
I am, yeah.
Dude, I mean, even though you're infatuated with this girl, give it 6 months. You'll be in college, and you'll have ways to distract yourself. And then once you're in college, maybe I'm sure she'll be single by then because everyone gets single by Thanksgiving. Hit her up then. But right now, lay on the brakes because I don't think I don't think it's a good idea, honestly.
All right.
All right.
Thank you,
I know.
Father.
I know
I
that's not what.
appreciate it.
I know that's not what you wanted to hear, but that's definitely the best game plan. I feel like you're getting a lot.
Well, no, I mean, to be fair, that was good advice, about the do it quick.
Yeah.
I hadn't really thought about that. Everyone else is doing it. Why should I give a shit?
Exactly. And I'm also a big believer in the fact, whenever you text a girl and she takes like 5 minutes to respond, you feel like it's necessary to like also take 5 minutes so you don't seem desperate. I don't believe in that shit.
Yeah.
That like as you get older, that stuff starts fading away and people are just a lot more direct. So people even if it doesn't work with a certain girl, the good people will appreciate directness and getting across exactly what you want. So just keep that in mind, all right, bud?
All right. Thank you, Father.
No problem. Bless your heart. Yeah, I hate to break it to high schoolers. Have your relationships in high school, but things get real messy when you go to college. Unless you go to the same college, which I would not suggest. I would not suggest that. I was single all through college, and sometimes it works out. But I would watch my friends who weren't single in college just drown. And I mean, I don't know one person who was dating a girl in college that they're still dating. I also didn't go to a state school, though. Maybe state schools are different. Like Alabama girls.
Call from
Taylor.
Taylor, what can I do for you, son?
Hi, I just had a quick story time to tell you today.
Sure.
So basically, over the summer, I got to know this girl, and we were pretty chill, just as friends. But I had a good relationship with all her friends, and basically they kind of set us up to go on a date.
Okay.
So everything's going really well. On the second or third date, she tells me about another experience she had with a guy, and she tells me how he tried to kiss her on the second date and how it didn't go well.
Okay.
So that was honestly when I tried to kiss her. So I realized that I had to like rethink a new game plan and do it in a few weeks, or wait a few dates to do that.
Right.
So basically, fast forward a few weeks, she picks me up in her car because I don't have my license. And so we're listening to like Taylor Swift on the way. I'm screaming, "Shake It Off."
Right.
Basically, we go to the movie theater. Everything's great. It's like completely empty. I ask, "Can I kiss you?" And my eyes remain open the whole entire time. And then she pulled away, and we just started laughing. But then that just like set the mood for the whole entire thing. Like I was just so depressed after that. Like when she was dropping me off at home, like at the beginning we were just like singing, but I was just so depressed. Like I wasn't doing anything.
Right.
We got to my house. I'm like, "Can I have a second chance?" She says yes. I kissed her on the fucking nose. But I got a third chance. Third time's the charm. Luckily, it went to plan.
Okay.
So.
Oh my God. Are you still talking to her?
No, we broke up like a few weeks ago, but it was just a really funny experience.
How old are you?
I'm 17.
17. Okay. That's absolutely brutal. There was a girl in high school that I used to hook up with, and I don't know how to tell her that it wasn't normal to leave your eyes open. Isn't that Bruno Mars song? It's like her eyes were open. Why were they open? It's a weird, like, if you don't know, you don't know. But that is, how did you miss the second time? That's what I'm most curious about.
I guess I closed my eyes too early
Too
the
early.
second time,
Oh God.
and then I just missed.
That's such a common thing that people talk about on the show. Well, not too common, but it's happened before on the show where someone like kisses an ear or a cheek or a nose. Let's get the timing straight. You go in for the kiss. You start to close your eyes, but leave them open a little bit so that you can see where you're going to plant it, and then fully close them. That's the rule. Let's get that across for viewership. Let's get that across for you. That is how you do it, so you'll never miss again. Maybe I'm just so far removed.
I think that's the strategy for sure.
100%.
That's definitely the strategy.
Keep a little visibility. Don't just headbutt her. Just, go in slow and be smart about it. I appreciate you sharing that L story. You didn't get the fish, but I'm sure you're doing better now, right? Now you know.
Thank you. Yeah, it was really funny, honestly. Like, the whole mood just changed after that, but it ended in a W, so not a bad story overall.
Yeah, and I'm glad you both were able to laugh it off, too. That's a lot better than her just going completely silent on you. So bless your heart, my child.
Yeah, for sure. Thank you.
Have a good one. That's so rough. How come you guys keep missing faces? You get nervous? Go for the eyebrows. That's what it's all about. Grab her head. Although a forehead kiss is cute in the right situation.
Call from
Nolan.
Nolan?
Hey.
Hey, what can I do for you?
All right, so I got, kind of like a story, kind of like a, advice type thing.
Sure.
So, I don't know, last year in, like October or so, I was dating this girl. I was freshman, so, it really didn't really last. But,
Right.
I was kind of hoping it lasted a little bit longer than what it did. And, it was kind of one of those deals where she broke up and she broke up with me and she was like, it's not you, it's me, and just kind of ghosted me after that.
Yeah.
So I was pretty confused. And then I kind of stopped the dating game for a while, and now I'm trying to get together with this girl. All right, she's pretty cool. Met her in the driver's ed thing or whatever, and I'm just asking for some advice on, if there's anything I could do to make it last longer than, like a month or two.
Okay.
So
How many girlfriends have you had?
about like 3 or 4 in my life.
And they all kind of like fizzled out pretty quick?
Some of them will last longer, but yeah.
Yeah.
Usually within 1 to 2 months. Yeah.
Okay, then yeah. I mean, you're 16, right? I don't know whatever state you're
Yeah,
in. Yeah,
yeah,
you're 16.
16.
So,
Yeah.
I mean, one, at your age, any relationship before 16, I would say 16, 17, 18 is really just practice, and it really doesn't, they're not supposed to last a long time. It's just kind of like you're pretending to have a relationship. It's important, but it's not important in that sense. But when when you're having a relationship, it doesn't last long because, you don't really know what you're doing in that kind of way. So, to make it last longer, one, maintain communication. That's the number one thing I always suggest to people. If you feel like she's a little off, or if you're feeling a little off, make sure you, even if it's an awkward conversation, bring it up, because if you don't get that shit out of the way, then it just festers, and then one day you get we should talk text, and it's a nightmare. So communication, make sure you constantly give her attention, and don't always bring her a teddy bear and some gifts and shit, but think of fun things to do. Don't just sit on your hands all the time and just end up texting her every day and that's it. Bring her out. Bring her to dinner. Go ice skating. Look at Christmas lights. I don't know where you live, but regardless, find something to do. That always, as long as you're doing shit with each other, you'll want to hang out with each other more. And then also shared experience, but that's up to you. I don't know if you have any shared experience with her, but find a hobby or like a TV show you both really like and talk about that all the time, shit like that. All right?
Yeah. Have a good one, Father. Thank you.
You too. Have a good one. Communication, kids. Sons and daughters, communication is key. It really is. It took me way too long to... How come that says 0? Where is it? My viewer count. Why is that broken? It used to work. I have 300 people in here. Jack says, I'm glad I've never been down bad.
Call from
Bullshit.
Cameron.
Cameron, how we doing, my son?
Oh my God, I actually got in?
Yes,
no
you did.
Way.
Welcome on. What can I do for you?
Hi. So I have a bit of a sad story for you, and I hope it's okay. I don't want to dampen the mood or anything. But I met this girl about a year ago, and we were both in high school. We didn't know each other for very long, but the connection that we had made was like really strong.
Word.
And I don't know, like when things get too serious in a relationship, I tend to like friend zone the girl.
Right.
And so we were on my bed and we were just cuddling and stuff. And then I said, maybe we should just be friends. And then she like stormed out of the room, obviously,
upset,
really mad.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, and to be fair, that's a valid response. I would be the same.
Right.
But she came back, and I'm sorry, I lost my train of thought. She came back. We talked for a little bit. We talked about how like we're kind of moving too fast because like we've just gotten to know each other.
Right.
But even though we still have this like really strong relationship, or what could be. And anyways, I had a mental breakdown, like in the middle of us talking.
All right.
And like it was weird because like I'm not much of a crier. Like before that I hadn't cried in like 3 years, so it was like a lot. And like I sat on the couch and like my body started like shaking.
Right.
Like I started getting like these really severe twitches in my body.
Yep.
And like to this day like it still bothers me. But it got so bad that I'd like go to the hospital.
Yeah.
And I've been on like medication like ever since.
Is it anti-anxiety medication?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like anxiety medication, like severe anxiety. Like I've finally been diagnosed with it.
That's...
I've kind of like. Sorry.
I was gonna say like my first panic attack was 19. I was 19 years old. And it's just I didn't know what it was. Thought I was dying. Went to the hospital. Like I had the same symptoms. I had shocking pain in my chest. I thought I was like having seizures, and like I was twitching a bunch, and like I couldn't breathe, and it was just like I could barely talk. It was fucking horrific. But once you like now when I feel a panic attack coming on, I know what it is. I know I'm being like it's just my body, and I just have to like But they always talk about like the two brains communicating. So like your brain that's saying like you're gonna die, everything's terrible, and then you just have to back out and be like you idiot, you're sitting in your room, you're gonna be fine. But it's
right.
Like it definitely to this day I've never had a panic attack as bad as the first one, but I'm always nervous it's gonna be as bad as the first one, which is like impossible because now I know what it is. But I just wanted to get that across. Right. I don't think you should feel bad about having like you're on medication, you have it diagnosed. I can't imagine what it was like for our parents because they must have been having panic attacks and being too afraid to tell anyone. So that must have been hell. But anyways, continue.
Yeah,
Continue on.
yeah. I'm glad I have somebody who can relate to me on that. Um, so I was also dealing with a lot of mental problems. Like I was suicidal,
Right.
and I kind of ghosted her because I knew my mindset was like I didn't think that she deserved to be with somebody like as broken as me.
Yep. That's like, isn't that like the number one symptom of depression? Is like the worst part about it is you cut other people off because you feel like a burden, and then it just makes you worse because you don't have anyone around.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And so, she like tried to reach out to me, and I would just like push her away.
Right.
Anyway, so 6 months go by. It's like this was last October. I text her and I'm like, hey, I'm really sorry about like what I put you through. Do you think we could just like sit down and talk? You know, just about what happened between us.
Right.
And then she was like, yeah, that's fine. So we went to Starbucks and we just sat down and talked. And I asked her if she wanted to try again, and she said, I'm not sure.
Okay.
And then I was like, okay. So that's basically like all I got out of the conversation. Like that was the number one thing. We talked about some other stuff, but that was like the main thing. And then I walked her out to her car, and we hugged, and then for like 2 seconds, and then I backed away, and then I was looking at her, and then she was like, can I hug you again? I was like, yeah.
Oh.
And then we hugged. It was for like a minute and a half.
Oh,
So
damn.
like, yeah. So obviously, like, I feel like she still cares about me somewhat, but after that, she like didn't text me at all.
Right.
And I assumed that she had like moved on. So anyways, fast forward to like this Valentine's Day,
Mhm.
I was like sitting on my couch, and I was just like, I wasn't a panic attack, but I was just like, my chest was like really hurting, and I was crying a lot.
General anxiety.
Because
Yeah.
I was just thinking about her, and I texted her, and I said, hey, and then she responded. Like I was surprised that she responded, and basically I was like, you never really gave me an answer. And she says, yeah, I'm still not sure. And she was like, because I'm like, I'm moving to college now. I'm doing stuff with my friends. Like, I don't know. I don't think she's like 100% there, but I'm still like, she hasn't. The problem is she hasn't said no.
Right.
She's only said maybe, and so that gives me hope. And then like my hopes are crushed whenever she, doesn't give me a straight answer. So I'm just like, and she hasn't texted me back since I texted her that day. So I don't know what to do.
Well,
I'll be honest.
1 sec. Sorry, I'm dealing with some bullshit. I just ruined.
No, you're good.
I just ruined.
Is it the green screen?
Yeah, ruined the illusion for a second. I am in a cathedral. That was just a problem with the camera. Let's get that across right now. But anyway, I mean, so 2 things. One, you've learned. I know that you've learned from your mistake. I don't know if you've implemented it yet because it's just natural what happens. But you pushed her away originally, right? Because of your depression, and
Yeah.
that definitely had an effect on your relationship. It's not your fault. It's not her fault. But she probably had feelings, and you pushed her away, and she didn't understand what the fuck was going.
She did tell me that it broke her heart
Yeah.
whenever I did that.
Exactly. And like now it's her body's natural reaction. Like I was hurt by this person, and maybe like she's not ready. Even though she might really care about you. She's in her head. It's a fucking turmoil because she's deciding whether she wants to like put herself on the line again. And I believe you wouldn't do that again. I think you've learned from your mistake, but you can't blame her for being tentative about the situation. So
Yeah.
you're not going to be able to force the situation either. You're not going to be able to like come up with some grand gesture to make her say yes. It's putting a lot of mental strain on you because you're thinking about her a lot. But how old are you?
19.
19. Okay, you're very young. That's something you got to consider. I'm older than you, and we're both still wicked young. Right now, you're in the shit of it. Like you said, it was a sad Valentine's Day. That's about, I would say 50% of Americans have sad Valentine's Day. But you're sitting there, you're feeling like shit. Bro, time heal all wounds. You can wait for her, but definitely don't be afraid to put yourself out there and be emotionally available towards other people. Because if you just, I don't know how long you're willing to wait on someone that may or may not decide to be with you. Are you in college?
No, I'm not
Okay.
right now. But my health has been like really bad.
Right.
Ever since then, so I've been taking it easy.
Exactly.
But I plan on going back like in the fall. So.
Oh, you were in college and then okay, all right, that makes sense. But yeah, no, I don't have any problem with people that don't go to college. But college is also a great place to meet new people and have new experiences. So I would definitely, once your health gets better and your mental health gets better, try and put yourself in uncomfortable situations, meet new people, join a club or some shit. And I don't want to say distract yourself, but it's kind of a distraction while making yourself a better person at the same time. All right?
Right.
Okay, that's the best situation you can do, because once you isolate yourself and then focus on this one person, it's just gonna get, the hole gets deeper, and I'm sure you already know that, right? Like you just it's a spiral.
Yeah, and I've been doing a couple of things to like keep my mind off of it. Like I have a couple of hobbies. Like I stream and I write music and I hang out with my friends sometimes, even though I don't have many. So yeah,
I have 2 friends, but they always say 3 people can take over a country. That's my dad. That's what my dad told me. I'm isolating in the sense that I don't like a lot of people around me, but the people I do have around me I really like. But regardless,
right.
definitely throw yourself into shit, and also, I'm not saying get more friends, but try your best to spend a little bit more time with other people, because that's the best. We're social creatures by nature. Our brains light up whenever we're with other human beings. So that's my suggestion to you. All right, my son?
All right, Father. Thank you so much. I really appreciate you answering my call.
No problem, bud. Have a good one.
You too.
Bro, panic attacks are no joke. I had no idea. I don't know if anyone in the chat has had a panic attack, but it's a nightmare.
Call from
Scott.
Scott, how we doing, my son?
How's it going, Father?
What can I do for you?
So I have a hell of a story for you.
Sure.
Well, it's not really down bad, but it's more of like a series of unfortunate events.
Okay.
Okay, so basically, I want to say about like 8th grade. This is a Valentine's story as well.
Okay.
So I was dating this girl, and she broke up with me, I want to say the day before Valentine's Day. And I had made her this big, like, basket of, like, those little origami cranes?
Yeah.
So I made about, like, I want to say 100 of those with sticky notes and everything. And she breaks up with me the day before, and I'm just heartbroken.
I mean, why did you make so many origami cranes? That's not like a common thing.
I mean, I understand it's not a common thing, but it was like, so I don't know. I gave them to her before, and she loved them, so I wanted to give her something
okay.
special.
I just thought you thought, like,
Yeah.
this'll get her. Like, this is perfect. Like, everyone loves origami cranes. So at least, okay, that's fine. But also, just before we continue with the story, I just want to bring up the fact that it's a weirdly common thing where people break up with them right before birthdays, Christmas, and Valentine's Day, because you don't want to, like, get a gift. And, like, if you handed her that basket and then the day after she broke up with you, that would be even shittier. Because you'd be like, well, what the fuck? I gave her all those origami things. I wish I didn't do that. So she obviously was thinking about it for a little bit and then did that. I don't think she was purposely trying to hurt you. I think she was trying to spare your feelings. But anyways, continue with your story.
Right, okay. And she probably didn't give me anything, so that probably contributed to it.
Yeah, there you go.
So I already have all these origami cranes, right? And so my friend and I are like, well, what do we do with these? Like, I don't want to keep them. That's just going to be a reminder.
Right.
So little, I want to say like 12-year-old dumb us, we decide to light them on fire in my backyard.
Fuck yeah. Have emotional
Right?
bonfire. I love that. Let's go.
Along with everything that she gave me, just all of that in the little shoebox that I had, just light it on fire.
Dude, I remember doing that shit when I was a kid. I don't know why we thought that was so cool, but it was just like, whatever. You saw it in a movie and you thought it was sick. That's crazy. Yeah.
Right. Now the sad part is it all goes downhill from here.
Okay.
So, I think my friend posts that on his story of like the bonfire, and then later that night, being 12 and emotional, I post on my story, my Snapchat story. It was something along the lines like, "I've never been hurt like this before."
Oh.
I know. Listen, but it gets worse. And then it ends up auto-correcting to, I never wanted to hurt someone like this before. I don't know how it turned to that.
Oh,
Right?
bro.
As you can see.
That is an issue, my dog. Okay, so how'd it go from
Mhm.
there?
So her stepdad is actually a cop.
Okay.
So one of my best friends, who was a female and also a best friend with her, screenshots my story, shows it to her, and shows it to our middle school office at the time.
And you confirming you didn't mean to type that, right?
Yes, confirming. And so the next day, I go to school and I get called down to the office, and there, I want to say about 5 or 6 cops just waiting for me in the principal's office with like pulled up screenshots, printed out, and everything.
Did you know, like, did anyone tell you that you made that mistake? Or did you just, like, leave it up for 24 hours?
So I posted it at like 2 in the morning, go to bed, right?
Right.
I wake up and then I delete it because I'm like, oh, what the hell? I didn't mean to do that.
But it was too late, obviously.
Mhm.
So how did you get out of that situation?
So basically, I had to, I guess, convince them that I meant this thing, like that I meant that I was hurt and I didn't want to hurt her. But it was kind of hard to do that when my friend posted us burning stuff
Yeah.
the day before.
That's some golf wing
Yeah.
shit. That's some Odd Future Wolfgang, fuck them all, burn everything, and kill everyone kind of mentality. I get it. I mean, with this, I would, if that was my daughter, you know, regardless, I'm getting adults involved because you sound like a little psychopath.
Right.
I'm glad you didn't get arrested because that's what I assumed would have happened, or at the very least reprimanded by the law in some sense. I thought you'd be at least picking up garbage on the side of the street. You would never hurt a woman. I just want to confirm that, right?
Oh yeah, never. No, this is just like I said, a series of unfortunate events.
I mean, how do you still talk to that girl? Do you ever have a laugh about it, or is she still terrified of you?
Oh no, she is much worse now.
Well, okay. I mean, it's 8th grade. People change. Shit happens. But I'm glad you're doing okay. I'm glad you would never hurt a woman. Just, pay it. I'm sure you pay attention a little bit more whenever you post a story. Am I right?
Oh yeah, completely learned my lesson from doing that. Never, always got to double check before posting anything, or just like don't even post that at all.
Jesus,
like, nobody cares.
Christ, that's fucking ridiculous. All right, bless your heart, my son. Wish you more luck in the future.
Sounds good. Have a great day, Father.
You too. Bye bye. All right, one quick second. So I'm pausing the calls for a moment because I want to tell you guys a down bad story about myself. You guys are constantly asking me, have I been down bad? Are we interested in this, or should I take another call? I want to get a couple yeses in the chat before I keep going. But this story is horrific. Yes, okay. All right. So, thank you. Yeah. So, in middle school, there was a girl. We were really good friends. We grew up together. I was not attracted to her at all, and she was, God forbid, attracted to me. I don't think anyone was. But I had to. It was like right before Valentine's Day, and I was sitting next to her, and as a joke out loud, I was saying, let's call her Julie. Dear Julie, I love you. I remember it word for word because it made me. What happens later made me sick. But word for word, I wrote, Dear Julie, and I was saying it out loud to her because it was a joke, and we were all laughing. But I said, Dear Julie, I love you like a piece of popcorn. You ooze greatness. One day we are gonna get married, and we'll live happily ever after. So I wrote that note. It was during class, and we were watching a movie, so we were just fucking off, right? So the kid behind me, his name was Patrick, and he said, you should leave that on the teacher's desk. I'm not one to shy away from a dare. So I was like, okay, she'll probably think it's funny. She'll probably think that's, she'll get the joke. So I leave it on there. My friend goes, oh, hold on. You got to sign your name. No problem to a big cat like myself. Sign the name. The next day, the teacher would not look at me. I was a little confused because I completely forgot this even happened. It was nothing to me. It was just a little prank. So I completely forgot this happened, right? At the end of the day, the principal gets on the intercom and says, Tucker Lindgren, we'd like to see you in the office. I once again still had no idea what was going on, but it was starting to click that it might have a little something to do with that note that I left my teacher. Go up to the principal's office, who, by the way, this principal still hangs out with my mother to this day. They're good friends. And she gave me about a 20-minute lecture about how I cannot have a sexual relationship with my 7th grade teacher. It was horrific. It lasted way too long. She was using terms that I didn't even know at that time in my life. And at the end of it, I was so mortified that I could not tell her that it was a joke. I just said, okay, I'm so sorry, and I left. And now to this day, that teacher is out there thinking that I'm a little perv and that I was trying to bang her. My mom found out. Of course, I explained it to my mom. And my mom and this teacher had beef, so like she believed me. But it's something I think about before bed every night at 2 a.m. That there's this rogue adult woman out there that knows of my existence and thinks I'm a little fucking girl crazy pervert. Just had to get that off my chest. If you ever wonder if I've ever been down bad, yeah, I've been down bad. That's one of several stories. All right? Stop asking me. That teacher probably still talks to you. 100%. She probably does. I wasn't down bad for her. I hated her. She fucking sucked. That's why it was a joke, because me and that lady had beef. We'd talk shit to each other in class. I'm not going to say her name. But we would go back and forth, and she'd send me out of the classroom. I hated her. So that's what the joke was. It was like an olive branch. Like, yeah, okay, let's joke around a little bit. The lines are now open again. I just wanted to get that story off my chest.
Call from
T.
T, how we doing, my son?
I'm doing pretty good, Father.
What can I do for you?
Okay, so I met this girl about 6 months ago while I was out with some buddies, fucking off at an arcade.
Right.
I got her number because my boys noticed, I was looking a little bit and she was pretty cute. So I got her number, but I left. Like, I didn't want to hang out with her because I was with my boys, obviously. So
Okay.
I left. A few hours later, and I texted her the next day.
All right.
And we started talking quite a bit, right? And I kind of liked her, and I asked her out, and we went out a few times. But then nothing serious, like not a relationship or anything. We thought about it.
Right.
Nothing happened. And then she texted me one day after like 3 months of talking, and she goes, "I found someone else. Are you cool with this?" And I go, "Yeah, whatever." I was kind of, disappointed, but
What did she mean? Are you cool with this? Like, do you still want to be friends, or do you want to be a homewrecker? What was she saying?
like, do you still want to be friends?
Okay, I was like, okay, well, I mean,
Yeah.
she's immediately a bad person, but that's fine. But I'm glad that wasn't the case. So yeah, continue.
Yeah, no. But her boyfriend kept like taking her phone supposedly. I still kind of don't believe it, but he would like dog me, and one day I was just like, okay, you're gonna either block me and save your relationship, or you can put him in his place and leave me alone. And I didn't get a text for I think it was 5 months.
Damn.
But this Valentine's Day, she texted me, and I haven't responded because I don't know what to do.
What does the text
And I'm
say?
kind of scared. It was just like, hey, we broke up, and I was wondering if you wanted to, be friends and catch up again. But I don't want to.
Okay.
Well, it's not that I don't want to, but I don't know what to do.
Okay, so what part of that is giving you anxiety? Because, I mean, it's a green light in the sense
Right.
that, she's single again and she's texting you on Valentine's Day. Obviously, they probably thought about you the whole fucking relationship. So what part of that is giving you anxiety?
I feel like I got dicked over because she blocked me, didn't say anything.
So
and
that's
kind of...
It's you got to think of it from the side of her, whereas she has a boyfriend that she cares about, and you're a dude that she met at an arcade, and maybe she thought you were cool and cute, but she's not gonna sacrifice. Maybe obviously he was controlling, and obviously he didn't like the fact that you were texting her, so she's not gonna sacrifice this relationship that obviously was in the works before you even came along to just keep texting this guy that whatever. And maybe he was more of an issue than it was, but in my opinion, I mean, it probably made you feel like shit when you got blocked, but unless she starts dating someone else again, I feel like it's definitely worth a try, right?
I mean, yeah, but that's what I'm like afraid of because I thought we were at a point where like we were about to officiate it because I didn't know about this dude at all. She didn't tell me. She didn't say anything.
Okay.
And that's like after we had gone on a few dates, and we agreed they were both dates, but like I had no clue about this dude.
Yeah, she was just keeping her options open. Okay, well there's
Yeah.
that. So if when you respond to her, say like yes I'm interested. If you are, this is what I would suggest you do. Okay, respond and say like yes I'm interested, but we need full communication. Like like last time you hit me out of left field, it made me feel like shit. I was pretty involved in the situation, and then out of left field I was blocked. So if you're talking to other people, that's fine. But I'm one, interested in a relationship with you, casual or not, and two, let's be open about our other promiscuities. I don't know if that's a word, but let's be open about what we're
Right.
doing because I don't want to feel like an idiot again. Just like I always
Cool.
say, communication, even though it's awkward, is key to not feeling like a mental piece of shit. Because if it's the same thing again, you start catching feelings and you're worried that she's talking to another person. If she is, and you communicated that she needs to tell you about that, then she's in the wrong. Like last time, I don't think she
Right.
was fully in the wrong because she didn't, it wasn't really communicated about. But as long as you lay it on the line, you really have nothing to lose besides a bad person.
Right. Okay.
All right?
Thank you, Father.
No problem. Bless your heart. Communicate! Communicate! Whose birthday is it? Oh, that one kid. Happy birthday tomorrow. Love your channel. Thank you. I gotta read this chat better. The problem is, I'm gonna scooch the screen up. It's on a... I'm gonna move... I gotta turn off the camera, because if I don't, you guys see my face real close, and it's really embarrassing. I got big pores. Alright, hold on. I'm moving the screen up a little bit so I can read your chat. I can kind of read it, but I can't really. Now I can read it. Alright, perfect. Alright. Thanks, Father. No problem. Also, I see a lot of you guys saying, like, I love you, Father, and I love the stream. I can't reply to all of you. I'm sorry. It makes me feel really good while I'm sitting here. I'm telling you. It's just, I don't know. I'm on the call a lot when you guys say sweet things to me, so I can't say, like, thank you so much. But thank you so much. Except for that one kid who keeps telling me to shake my ass. I see you. I see you. I will block your ass. Shake what the Lord gave you. You've said that like 15 times now. Can you call again if you have another story? Not. Let's try. I like to try and keep it like 2 weeks apart. I'm going to start telling people they can't do that because we've had a lot of repeat callers and I'm starting to feel bad. As long as if you have an update, yes, but some people they're afraid to call the first time and then they get addicted and they can't stop.
Call from
Mitchell.
Mitchell, how we doing, my son?
Not too bad. We're doing all right. I got a bit of a predicament. So we got to go way back to when I was a kid. I think it was growing up in like a fairly traditional household. I didn't really know I didn't really know how to like jerk off. Or so the first time I did it, I was just lying down on my stomach and I was using my pillow.
Okay. Oh,
and I kind of just. I'm not going to get into too many details.
That's already too many details, so fucking
okay.
slow down.
Okay, I'll slow down. But my point is, it wasn't the traditional way.
Okay.
So, and I wasn't allowed to watch any adult stuff. So, I didn't know that it wasn't that wasn't how people usually did it. Anyways, fast forward to today. I have a girlfriend right now, and she comes over, and one thing leads to another, and then I realized that the motion I was used to isn't the same as like the motions that you do when you're with a girl.
Right.
And I can't finish. I can't like nothing happens. And I think I messed myself up. Like permanently. I don't know. Like I don't know if like my brain is now wired to like do something else or like I don't know.
Well, okay. All right. I don't want to go too deep into this. I'm not a sexual health expert, right? But I'm gonna leave you with this. One, fantastic story, made me laugh really hard. But two, she's your girlfriend, right?
Yeah.
All right. You're gonna have to be a little vulnerable. And
Oh, I already told her.
okay, that's fine. But the whatever emotion you need to recreate, trying to find a way to recreate it with her, hands, whatever, doesn't have to be what normally happens. But if you're both happy and open to new ideas, take a night, figure out what exactly works for you. Because normally in a relationship, both people are happy to get the other person to where they want to be. So if she's not getting you where you want to be, she's probably getting frustrated, and she probably would do anything to let it happen. So let's take a night, experiment a little bit, kind of, I don't know, fucking tell her what you do, and then try and, add her to the mix. All right? I think that's the best course of action.
Oh God.
I know.
Okay.
It's awkward and weird, but talk to her. I'm sure she's 100% down for that. All right?
We'll give it a go.
All
Thank
right.
you.
No problem. Have a good one. You came in
All right,
hot,
peace.
my guy. He came in hot. I was so worried that was gonna. I'm glad it turned out the way it did. It's a genuine problem that some people have, but I was blown away with how he came in. He didn't even pause. He's like, "Hey, father, I got this going on," and I was. And yeah, he was so honest. Good point. Shadows and Sunsets. What's a very Tumblr name, but that's the honesty. He's talking to a priest on the internet. Talk to your girlfriend about it. It's awkward, but you gotta do it. Communicate. Communicate. What do I say?
Call from.
Unknown.
To accept, press 1.
Uh-uh.
To send a
That man was gonna say the N-word. The mischievous little laugh. The name unknown. Get the fuck out of here. I don't put it. You gotta say your name if you want to get on this show. No way, Jose. No way, Joseph. I'm not doing with that. Bait for sure, 100%. Troll. Unknown. That's the exact emoji I saw him as.
call from.
Angel.
Hello, my son. What can I do for you?
Call from.
Hi. So I just want to explain to you this situation I was in recently.
Sure.
Okay, so there's this girl that I was talking to for a while, right?
Right.
And so I was very interested in this girl, right? So we're talking, we're getting more serious, and then she had posted this thing, right? And it was supposed to be about me or something. So I slide up on it. I'm like, wait, was this about me? And she was like being really indecisive about it. So I was like, all right, whatever, I'm gonna do it. And it was like, oh, if your man wanted to, he would or something. And it was like this girl and her man got her flowers, right? So I was like, you know what? I think I'm gonna be the gentleman that I am and do that for her.
Okay.
So I do. So the next day, I take a train to her house, buy her the flowers and everything. And I got lost because she gave me the wrong address at first, and I almost died. Literally, it was like 20 degrees out, and she had me in the cold. I was on my bike and a hoodie.
Oh, bro.
And she almost got me killed, right? So I finally get to her house. Her parents give me a ride back home, and then that's pretty much it, right?
Okay.
But now I'm like, all right, now, like, at the time we weren't dating. We were still in the talking stage, so that's why I, like, decided to call him because it's kind of down bad of me to do, since we're not, like, really dating.
Right.
But I do it anyway because, I'm a good person.
Yeah.
But that night, I asked her out, and then we started dating.
Word.
So from here on out, it's fine, whatever. Come to, like, a few weeks ago, right?
Mm-hmm.
She breaks up with me, like, out of nowhere. Like, no explanation. She's just like, well, she kind of gave an explanation, but I feel like it was kind of an excuse.
Right.
Like, I feel like if she didn't want to be with me, she should have just said that. But she goes, she's like, oh, everything is draining right now. And, I mean, honestly, if she was, like, just tired of being in a relationship, she could have said that. I understand, it's whatever. But she tries to make up these excuses,
Right.
and it was just a lot. So I'm like, all right, that's it. So then I start talking to my ex again, right? So now I'm talking to my ex, and then out of nowhere, she starts texting me again. Like, okay, so the first girl, her name is Kaylin, and my ex, her name is Melody. We're just going to put it like that, right?
Okay.
So Kaylin, she keeps on texting me while I'm in a relationship with Melody again.
Okay.
So while this is all going on, I don't tell Melody, and so now at this point, I'm pretty much cheating on Melody with Kaylin.
What do
And
you mean
yeah, I
pretty
know it
much?
sounds really bad. Huh?
What do you mean pretty much? Like, are you just texting her? Or are you hooking up with her?
Yeah, we're just texting. We're just texting.
I mean, who do you want more, bro? You can't, this is not polygamy. You got to make a choice.
Ooh, wait. Okay. So, um, while me and Melody were in this relationship or whatever, I decided to. Well, she had said something to me about it. She was like, "Oh, I feel like we're really distant. We should like, do you want to break up or something?" And then I had told her straight up. I'm not gonna lie. I wasn't sober at the time when she had told me this, so I took it very offensively,
Right.
and I just went off on her completely. And then it was just really bad. I told her that I cheated on her, this and the third, when I really didn't. I didn't do all the things that I said I did, but it was too late. Couldn't go back, right? So now me and Melody are done. But Caitlin started texting me again, so now I'm like, okay, now I have a backup plan pretty much. So now me and Caitlin are texting. I'm like, all right, everything's cool. Then she blocks me again on everything. So now I'm just like stuck. And then okay, so there was a small period where me and Melody had got back together, but then I just broke up with her because like I didn't feel the same way about her anymore. Like the feelings just like faded away,
Right.
which is very cruel because she was a very nice person. But it was just I was going through a lot, man. It was a whole situation. So now I have none of them, and I'm just very lonely.
You gotta give me a second. That was a lot of shitty things that happened at once.
Sorry, man.
How often in your day-to-day life do you hear the term toxic?
um,
This is like
yeah.
the plight of a toxic king. Like there was at every the fact that you told this girl that you cheated on her harder than you actually did just just for the fuck of it, just for the argument. That is so poetically toxic. It's just
See, that's the
insanity.
thing.
It's
Father,
yeah.
I take pride in being toxic.
Yeah.
That's why I figured I'd go that extra length. But that's the thing. I know that I have like a hold. Like I have control of what Melody does. Like she's always gonna come back to me no matter what.
Dog,
Like she
how
said
old are
this
you?
to me.
How old are you?
Father, take a guess.
I don't know, 16?
13.
13? Did you say
Yes.
Did you say
Yes, Father. I'm 13 years old.
Dog, you cannot listen. It's fun. I get it. It's fun the way you're living life right now. You're holding a girl in your hands like what wet fucking hot butter. But you can't live like this. You can't. You can't live the rest of your life like this. You're going to get yourself killed. How did this story start with you bringing flowers to a girl? How did it start? And then at the end of it, you're proudly proclaiming your toxicity. I'm speechless. This is the first time I've been speechless on this show. I mean, you live the way you want. I'm not here to pass judgment. I'm just here to let you know that this is going to come back and bite you in the ass. You are 13 years old. I can't believe the way you're living right now. Have fun, but I want you to call in one day and tell me I told you so. All right, Toxic King?
Okay, Father.
All right.
I'm sorry. I beg for your forgiveness.
Well, let's see. The only way you can repent is by changing your ways. And I don't think you're going to do that anytime soon, are you?
We'll see, sir. We'll see.
All right. Bless your heart, my child.
Bless you too, Father.
Oh, my God. What a piece of shit.
Call from
Charlie.
Charlie, how we doing, my son?
Good, how are you?
Good. What can I do for you?
All right, so I have a story from about a year ago.
Okay.
And it's not really a down bad story, but it's just kind of funny.
All right.
So my parents were out for dinner. It was like March of 2021.
Mm-hmm.
And my mom left her phone at home. So I went to go check her phone. She asked me to go find her phone to make sure it was at home.
Mm-hmm.
And so I found her phone, and I saw an interesting notification. So I knew the password to her phone. Like, my family has a very open policy.
Right.
So I checked it, right? Because I'm really close with my dad, like really, really close.
Okay.
And she had a notification from a random dude that was a little X-rated. And so I got very interested into the story and scrolled through the whole chat, found all the messages, took screenshots of everything. And so my dad found out right away. Like, I told him and everything. I told my whole family, and they're not divorced now because they figured it out and nothing was physical. But out of spite, I had the dude's address, I had his full name, I had his family, I had everything. So I kind of just fucked with him for like 6 months, and I had to get it off my chest.
How did you fuck with him?
I would call him with voice changers on and tell him his address. I would read off his brother's name, his mom's maiden name. I'd like describe him on a phone call. Like, I literally just blackmailed the shit out of him, and he had no idea why it was happening.
Okay. Disclaimer. Don't do what this kid did. Don't do that. But it's your mom, and it's your family. That guy can go fuck himself. Karma's a bitch, and he knew he was being a homewrecker. Fuck him. I would have done the same exact thing. Disclaimer: don't do what he did. But how old are you?
I'm 14. I was 13 then.
I don't know if you can see the stream. But
I can. I'm looking at it right now.
I'm a man with a mustache giving you the thumbs up. I don't condone what you did, but I understand it, and I.
But it gets deeper. The guy was one of my dad's high school friends, and so, I saw him out in public, and I was calling him, watching him freak out in his car, and it was the funniest thing to me.
Well, listen, I'm sorry you had to go through all that shit. I'm sure that was a lot at the time. It weirdly sound like you're okay right now, but that's perfect. Fuck that dude. I hope he has a terrible time for the rest of his days. Your mom kind of sucks too for doing that, and your dad is a G, right? Your dad's a pimp.
Yeah, we actually went on a quite the grand vacation after it, in like a kind of a fuck her stage.
Let's go. All right, dog. All right. Well, hey, getting a lot of W's in the chat. You're a G. Don't do what you did to the chat, but keep your chin up. You got a successful career ahead of you. All right.
Thank you, Father.
Bless your heart. Let's go.
Call
That's nuts.
from
Rocco. Oh, Rocco. I don't know if it.
to accept, press 1. To send a
Rocco?
Hello?
What can I do for you?
Okay, so I have a pretty confusing story.
All right.
Alright, so I started dating this girl in like September or something around then.
All right.
And you know, we date until like, I don't know, November.
Mhm.
And so basically directly after we break up, she goes on a date with this guy who had like hung out with us while we were dating. Like he was like a mutual friend between us.
Tough.
And so he asked her to a dance, and like she accepts and everything, and she stands him up. She doesn't like meet him there.
Wow.
At the time. So I later find out that she, like, while we were hanging out one of the times, while we weren't together, but like before I got there, she was with the guy. Like, she was hanging out with him before I was, like, in a not friendly way.
So it was like consecutive, like he left and then you showed up?
Yeah, basically.
Jesus Christ. All right.
There's more to add.
Yeah.
So they don't work out, and around like beginning of this year, January, she talks to my other friend, and they don't work out either. Okay, one more thing, that this is a little weird. Her cousin.
Right.
So while we were dating, me and her tried to make our cousins date, or her cousin date my friend.
Okay.
So we basically forced them to date. It was a weird thing.
Right.
They didn't really like work out. Month after, my other friend tries to date her cousin, and they don't work out either. He throws that completely. Like a couple weeks later, my other friend tries to date the cousin. This cousin's kind of hot, so
Yeah,
it's
no
understandable.
shit. The whole town's going after her, apparently. Good lord.
And the ex-girlfriend, she's kind of a whore. time, but like I don't know. And she's surprisingly attractive. Like if you looked at me and looked at her, you'd be like, oh, how did you do that?
Right. Well, she was hooking up
Yeah.
with other dudes, you know,
Yeah.
a minute
Right.
before you dated her. But hey, shitty people are shitty people. Obviously, you know that now. And steer clear of her because she's bad news. All right?
Yeah.
All right. Bless your heart, my son.
Thank you. Love you. Bye.
Bye. Father, would it be a good idea to ask a woman how many people she has been with and what would be red flag? Anything over 6? I don't give a shit about that, honestly.
Call from
Unless it's in the hundreds.
John Brown.
John, how you doing, my son?
Yo,
What can I do for you?
are you the Down Bad Patrol?
Yes.
So am I supposed to tell my story?
Yes.
Okay. So there's one time I went to a party, right?
Right.
And I was talking to this girl at the party.
Right.
We got to know each other a little better. We went on a couple of dates, right? And a little later, I found out she's my cousin. And we were all freaking out, and it was crazy. My parents didn't know this. I told my parents a little later, and it was just a wild, wild time. Yeah, we're still dating to this day, though.
You're full of shit.
You think I'm joking?
I do.
I could send you an Instagram.
Send it to me on Instagram.
What's your Instagram?
The Down Bad Patrol.
Down Bad Patrol?
Yeah.
Okay, you'll get it very soon.
Okay. Have a blessed day, my son. He's got to be lying, right? That was a lie. That was a lie. Okay, that was a lie. All right, I knew.
Call
All right.
from
He had nothing to say when he got on that goddamn phone. I could tell. Hello, my son. How can I do? What can I do for you?
Father, I am a very, very lost man.
It sounds like you're literally lost, like you're on a mountain. What's going on?
I'm walking around my town because I don't want to bother my roommates by calling.
All right. Well, what can I do for you?
I don't mean to like farm sympathy here, but a few days ago, I was the guy in your TikTok stream that you got matched with on Tinder, just to say to stop trying.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, that was me. I've been trying to get past a long-term relationship for a very long time.
Right.
See, back in 2019, when I was 17 years old, I enlisted in the military. Yeah, I still had a girlfriend at that time. Yeah, I go through the bases, end up hurting myself, having to come home. Apparently, unbeknownst to me, at some point between those two events, I was made single, but I didn't know.
Okay. Good God. All right.
She had written a letter to me that I had never received. So I call, like before I get on the plane to come back home, I'm calling. I'm like, hey, baby, what's up? And she's like, don't call me that. And I'm like, all right, well, that's not fun.
Yeah, what the fuck?
So apparently I'd been single for like 4 months. No, not 4 months. I wasn't even there for 4 months. It's some ridiculous amount of time.
Right.
And I'm been trying to get out of that funk for the past few years. Eventually I started flirting with this waitress at a local diner.
Okay.
Until my roommate's wife comes to me one day and goes, yeah, you know that girl you've been flirting with? She's been leading you on to get more tips. So.
All right, listen. This is a string of unfortunate events. There's that classic stereotype of guys who get their heart broken by the first girl they date, and then they're just fucking pieces of shit to women for the rest of their lives. I want you to promise me you're not going to become that. First of all.
Absolutely not, Father.
Okay, because I almost was there. I was a piece of shit freshman year of college and just was banging around and being a bad dude. But you gotta realize that you're kind of just going through the thick of it. For some reason, military guys always get fucked over. I don't know what that's all about. Probably because you're a lot away for so long. But anyways.
Yeah, you're not there.
Yeah. the point is that it's shitty people always reveal themselves as shitty people.
Oh, I would never call this girl a shitty person. She's still my best friend. I think I still have a thing for her, but her new boyfriend's a great guy. And I don't know what's going on anymore. I'm all topsy-turvy, confused in the brain.
Yeah, I see that. You just gotta, man. You're gonna be hung up on her. You're gonna be hung up on her because you're still keep letting her, stay in your life.
I can't cut her out, man.
I get that, but one day you're gonna. And when you do, you're gonna look back on this time and think, why didn't you do it sooner? That's my advice to you, man.
Yeah, I've heard a lot of people say that, but
I
she's
know.
helped me through a lot of bad times.
That's fair. Hey, that's fine. But you just got to understand that's the situation. If you're not going to do that, then I suggest, putting your mental effort into someone else at the time, at least your emotional effort. You can still be friends with this person, but if you're giving one person 100% of your time, which it kind of seems like you are, you're never going to get anywhere. So at the very least, split it up 50-50 with a new person. Because it seems like you're a good guy. You're a military guy. You have conversation skills.
I'm not actually a military guy. I never completed my training. I hurt myself and had to come home.
All right, well, fuck it. Whatever. You know what I mean? You have some kind of discipline.
We don't steal valor around these parts, boy.
Yee. But you know what I'm fucking saying. Put your time in. You'll be able to do it. I don't feel like you're a schlub. Just you putting all your mental strain on this one person is you're gonna be locked in a loop for the next 10 years if she keeps doing this. All right?
Yes, Father.
All right, go out there and get it done. Bless your heart.
Thank you, Father.
No problem. That sucks. He is stuck. And he knows it. I get it. But he's gonna learn. He's gonna learn real soon. Shit's gonna get shitty. It's already shitty, but it's gonna get shittier. Yee, God bless America. 2554 condom. Alright, we got time for one more.
Call from
William.
Hello, my son. What can I do for you?
Hey, Father. I know you gave me that bet last Wednesday to do it by a week,
Did you do it?
and I did it.
How'd it go?
I did it this morning, and it just been left undelivered since.
I told you not to do it over text, homie.
Well, I forgot, and I panicked, so I did it over text.
Okay, so, remember what I said to you last week? First of all, recap. The bare minimum of this story is he was into this girl, he couldn't tell, and I told him to kind of go for it, because what's the fucking point? Practically what I told him. So, situation is looking a little bleak. She hasn't responded, right?
Yeah.
Right. Nothing to be ashamed of. I'm sure you feel a little stupid, and that's fine. But you can't choose who you love. You can't pick who you want. And maybe she's just not that into you. And that's nothing to feel bad about. Because, one, I don't want to give you the million fish in the sea, but maybe she doesn't like how your eyebrows sit. Maybe she doesn't like your pattern of speech. You can't if you get hung up on that, then you're never going to go to the next person. She just might not like you. If your dad found another woman that was like your mom, he didn't like her, he liked your mom. And the situation is there's someone for everyone. Don't get too hung up on this, but now you know. Now you know it was never an option. And yet, it's not a year from now that it wouldn't have happened. And plus, I don't know, maybe she'll fucking say she likes you. I don't know what she's doing. But regardless, now that you've done it, it's off your chest, you can move on from here. All right?
Yeah. All right.
And I'm proud of you, because I really thought you were going to chicken out. I did. The way you were talking on the last call, I was real goddamn nervous. But you did it. I'm proud of you. Still might work out. I wouldn't lose all hope. I would lose a lot of it, but I wouldn't lose all your hope. But now you know, and now you can focus on yourself and moving on to the next person. All right, my son?
All right. I'll call you next time. I'll call in next time once I find out if she's seen it or said anything.
Okay. And also, I like that you didn't do it on Valentine's Day. That was smart. All right. Bless your heart, my child.
Thanks, yeah.
He's in the thick of it. No, that's an unknown caller. I want to see if he says
Call
unknown again.
from William.
Ooh, I'm going to... That was a little too young. We'll do one more call.
Call from
John Brown.
John, you just got on here, bro. You just got on here, John. You can't do 2 calls back to back, dog. You got to give a little room to everybody. See, I tell you, once you get on the show, you get addicted. You want it more and more and more. One more call. Come on. Father, end off with another story. Do we want that?
Call from
Tyler.
Tyler, what can I do for you, son?
Oh, awesome. I actually got connected. I've been trying this entire time.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
All
It's
right,
a fucking nightmare to get on, but what can I do for you?
No, you're good. All right, are you ready for one of the worst down bad stories you've ever heard?
Wow, you're hyping yourself up, but I'm here for it.
Oh, yeah. All right, so we're going to backtrack to 2017. I met a girl, and she is honestly the girl of my fucking dreams.
Okay.
I ended up getting in a relationship with her in February of 2018.
Okay.
We dated for 3 years and 8 months. I actually got engaged to her after about a year and a half.
Okay.
So the biggest thing about our relationship was that we were about 500 miles away from each other. We lived in 2 different states. We were quite a bit away from each other. One of the biggest things was us being long distance is that she wanted to move where I was.
Okay.
During the end of the relationship, she ended up telling me that I needed to move where she was. I told her that I didn't want to do that. I had a life for myself where I was and didn't want to move. So she ends up breaking up with me. But the thing is that she still was like, I love you. I don't want to be with anyone else. I'm not going to move on like quickly by any means, anything like that. She ends up getting a relationship with a really not good guy about 2 weeks after we broke up. That was in September of last year. What ends up happening is after breaking up with her, she broke up with me, I realized that I had made a really big mistake because this is a girl that I truly love and want to be with.
Right.
So about a month ago, or 2 months ago, I started saving up and I moved my life 600 miles away to be closer to her. I now live, instead of nine hours away from her, I live 10 minutes from her house. A week before I moved, after I had already gotten a job here, after I'd already paid for my apartment that I was staying at, I'd already signed a lease, I'd already done everything. She, the entire time, was communicating with me, saying that she wanted to be friends, she wanted to hang out, she wanted to, do all this stuff with me when I got here. She texts me a dead ass a week before I leave and goes, I don't think I want to see you. And goes, I don't think I want to see you when you come here. I don't think I want to be around you.
So then what happened?
I've been texting her like on and off and like offering to be like, hey, like, let me get you coffee. Let me like, I've been trying to like get her to hang out with me because I'm not trying to pull her away from this dude because if she is happy, then I'm there for it. Like I'm there for her. Like that's my biggest thing is that I love this girl no matter what. I'm not going to move to some other girl because I don't see the point in it. I'm not attracted to other girls at the moment. I don't care about that. I'm not looking for another relationship. I want to be with her. Because I've invested a lot of my life into her. Like she pulled me out of a very deep depression and a very bad thing that I was going into. She helped me actually graduate and being able to do stuff with my life. She got me to do a lot of shit that I never thought I'd be able to do. I thought I was going to be dead by the age of 19, and I'm not dead.
Right.
But the biggest thing is that I don't know if I should wait and like try and wait this guy out because I know for a fact that he's going to break her heart, or if I should try and distance myself a lot more. I have not messaged her for like 6 days or something like that. I don't really know what to do in this situation because she did still say that she loved me. She said that if I had moved here, that she wanted to try and give it another try. But now I'm here, and I think that she thought that I wasn't actually going to move here.
Right.
I think that in her mind, I was just going to stay where I was and stay in my slump and not do anything with my life. I just got a job that pays me $10 more an hour than any other job that I've had. Like I've completely tried to like upgrade my life while I'm here.
Right.
And I just don't quite know what to do about this because I don't see myself feeling this way for any other girl.
Okay. So, what I would do, it's not it sucks that she's in a relationship with a different person, right? And it sucks that you think he's going to break her heart or whatever.
Yeah.
It's not definitely not your job to prevent that. One, because that's it's just not where you should be lying, but
Mhm.
it's also it's important for her to realize that, like, if she does get her heart broken, that's a learning lesson for her, and it is nowhere near your responsibility to stop her from doing that because it's important as a human being to develop like that. But in the meantime, if you think it's going to happen and you think you have that great connection, like you said, you just got a better job. You just moved to a new city. This is the time to, even though you're so obsessed with her, I'm not saying go and jump and find a new girl, but focus on yourself. Whatever you're doing,
Mhm.
be the best at what you're doing. I think it's okay if she's still okay to be texted, like still text her, but don't give her a little space to breathe. Let her learn, because obviously she's going through some shit too with this new guy. Give her the space she needs. I would say, as much time as it takes. Anywhere between 6 months and a year. I have no idea, but
Yeah.
things are gonna move in one direction or the other. And right now it's just a waiting game. And I'm sure it's weighing on your mentality a lot right now. But as time goes on, you'll think a little bit clearer. She'll also think a little bit clearer. But right now, clearly, you said it when you jumped on. Like, shit is shitty, and it's boiling over right now. And there's no worse time to
Oh
make a
yeah.
decision than in these moments. So take your time, think it through. And not by take your time, I don't mean 3 days. I don't mean 6 days. I mean like a couple of months. Take your time, breathe, and then come to a decision of
For
what you
sure.
want to do. Because I mean,
I forgot one key detail here.
Yeah.
So after I moved down, I have a lot of buddies here who are tattoo artists. I actually know a lot of people in this area. I made a really fucked up choice. So mine and hers like biggest quote for each other was, "Oh, forever and always. We're gonna be a forever and always couple." Yeah, my dumbass got that tattooed on my chest.
Yeah. Ah! How big?
It's pretty noticeable. It's across my left pec.
Okay, well, you were right when you came on this stream and said you were the most down bad. I think that we've hit that. That is insane, my guy.
Yeah.
Cheese and crackers. I mean, come on. Whew! That's a lot. I'm a little speechless right now. I mean, okay.
Yeah, that's a big thing like that.
Okay.
And like I was talking to my dad about it. He goes, "Bro, how the hell are you gonna be able to explain that to someone else? Like, how is that gonna like if you do get with another girl, how are you gonna explain that?"
Okay. Listen. I'm going to ignore that you just said that because I don't have any words for it. But just listen to my advice. Take your time and then go from there. Okay, my son?
Mhm.
All right. Bless your heart. Stay safe. Don't make any more fucking stupid decisions. Okay?
No promises for that, homie.
Okay. Bless your heart. Holy moly. Mother of God. Woo! All right, I'll leave you guys. You guys want a story before we head out? We'll do a story and then a raid. I gotta think of a good story, though. This was a short, good one. There was this girl in college that I was super into. Most of my stories are from college. Because I didn't have sex. I mean, I had a girlfriend, but I wasn't getting laid in high school. I didn't figure out what would work for me until then. But in college, there was this girl that I was really into. She was really nice to me. She was really hot. And it was way out of my league. And it's one of those things where you just kind of take the beating because it's the best you have, if that makes sense. So down bad by definition. I was willing to do anything for this girl. And even I knew it was doomed. Like, I knew nothing was going to come of it because, God forbid. I mean, that would be a mark on her permanent record for me just being around her. But regardless, she wasn't a great person. Physically, stunning. Mentally, a nightmare. So she would date guys on and off, and I would just be kind of waiting on the sidelines. Not a great look. But when every time she got single, I was the guy she was hitting up at 1, 2 a.m. And I'm there, motherfucker, I'm ready. Uh, but she had like 3 female roommates and all their gal pals, and she would invite me over, and she was in a triple decker apartment, and she lived on the bottom floor, and I wasn't allowed to come in through the front door. I had to go through the back door basement. Uh, so no one would see me. I had to go through the back door of the basement. I have to wait there in my in the freezing cold Chicago weather and knock on the rickety basement door, and she would come and tell me to shut the fuck up so no one knew I was there. And I did it! Fuck it! I was happy. Only till later did I realize how fucked up that was. But it was like a 6 month period. It was not great. But I'm glad I did it. It was an experience. Alright, do we want to do a raid? Let's do a raid. I was down bad. Actually, I am still down bad, but we all are. Different reasons. One sec. Let me pull up Twitch so we can raid a mofo. I think it's... No, stop it. Stop it. Sorry, I played an ad. Alright, let's find another cool person. We keep finding cool people. I can't raid this guy again. I've raided this guy so many times. He keeps coming up on my feed. Let's see. This guy looks nice. We'll raid him.
You save big this home and all
Shut
that.
up, Flo. I don't want to hear it. Alright, one sec. Cut. I gotta open up Twitch again. One sec. See you guys Friday. I'll be here Friday. I'm watching and I'm lurking when you least. You guys follow me a lot when I stream. I really appreciate that. Oh, also, Lucas Green, thank you for the Prime sub. I didn't even see that. Thanks, G. I appreciate that. How did I miss that? Also, we are getting really close to 10,000 followers, which is insane. We're at 8.7 right now. 9's coming up. I feel it. And then we're at 10,000. I'll have to do some kind of a celebration when we hit 10,000. I'll do something. Maybe I'll do a shirtless stream for the boys. All right. Raid's coming up. Everyone on their best behavior. As always, don't be a dick. Be really polite. Tell them Dad Bad sent you. But you guys are usually well behaved. I don't know why I'm so afraid you guys are going to be dicks. But, ooh, 100 viewers. Let's go. Oh, come on. Let's get back to 100. Come on. There we go.